With the rise of online gaming, couch co-op games are perceived as going the way of the dodo, or even a strange selling point if they allow you to play with your friends from the comfort of your couch. It's a weird situation for anybody who grew up in the 90s, a decade in which countless friendships were put on the line in games of Goldeneye and Mario Party. We have games like Halo, which built a lot of its reputation on local multiplayer, doing away with split screen, and more games adopting purely online components. You couldn't be blamed for being pessimistic about the future of picking up and playing games with your friends in the living room. However, there's still a decent stream of the best couch co-op games releasing fairly regularly, and refusing to bend the knee to the norm, as well as some all-time classics that you can always fall back on. Here then are the best couch co-op games for partnering up and taking down whatever the game throws at you. This is a multi-generational and eclectic list that's in no order, so there's bound to be something for every taste and level of experience, meaning that maybe even your nan would want to pick up a controller, and then you can slap it out of her hands for getting you both killed due to sloppy reactions. Arthritis is no excuse, Doris. So, start off with, we have A Way Out. To say that A Way Out is a kick up the backside for mainstream gaming would be an understatement. Not only could you play through the entire campaign in local co-op with a friend next to you with a controller in hand, but you could also play online even if the other person didn't have a copy of the game. That's a surprisingly pro-consumer move considering it's coming from EA. Yes, we can't believe it either still. Playing as Leo and Vincent, you and a buddy must escape from prison and then set out on a quest for revenge. You will encounter plenty of heartbreak, twists, and difficult decisions along the way. Cinematic and engaging with plenty of gameplay quirks, A Way Out utilises its split screen perfectly and is easy to pick up and play for gamers of all experiences. A truly underrated gem of 2018 that more people really should play. Next up, UNRAVEL 2. UNRAVEL was a gorgeous platformer that won more than its fair share of hearts, so when its sequel surprise dropped during E3 2018, there were plenty of people who were intrigued to see how it would turn out. The answer, thanks to the introduction of some great co-op that doesn't tax the mind too much, was that it was the natural and superior continuation. Two players can take control of their own respective yarnies, each as important as the other. Players must work together to use momentum and finesse to solve puzzles, as well as to hold each other gently at just how beautiful and pure the whole thing is. UNRAVEL 2 is one of 2018's most underrated games, and a prime example of how much couch co-op can enhance the experience. Plus, Christ, just look at it. Look how beautiful it is that you just want to bathe in it. And now for something punchier, Streets of Rage. What's a Streets of Rage, you ask, before we dropkick you out of a window for insubordination? The franchise has arguably done more for couch co-op than any other out there, bringing with it its eminently cheesy charm and the fact that you will be unable to put it down, even when the boss transports you right back to the beginning because he's a cheap arsehole. The original game is what many hallow as the best in this series, and it's hard to argue with that, as it's when it was at its purest. Playing as Axel, Blaze, or Adam, you and your friends must fist and slice your way through the streets with a bit of rage and rid them of crime. It's a little dated around some edges, yeah, but Streets of Rage holds up remarkably well in terms of one more try appeal. After many years out in the wilderness, Streets of Rage 4 released a wild acclaim and introduced millions of new players to the world of chomping chickens and kicking ass. Next up, basically any LEGO game. Any of them basically, pretty much. And we mean basically any. The LEGO games are known for being easy pick up and play couch co-op games that suit any gamers for any age, with tie-ins for many famous licenses to choose from. It could be argued that their heyday was with the Harry Potter and Star Wars games, but recent fares also been more than worth a look. Titles like LEGO Marvel's Superheroes and LEGO The Incredibles are all going to suck up your time. Traveller's Tales' games have a sneaky habit of being simple yet surprisingly addictive, meaning that you will be hunting down bricks like a madman before too long. As IGN love to say, there's a little something for everyone. What's that, son? You haven't been to school in 4 days? Don't worry about it. We are LEGO now. The Earth is Legoland, and we are the bricks who make it. That's right, it's time to talk about Rayman Legends again. Play this game, goddammit. Rayman really doesn't get enough love. Legends can hold its own against the biggest platforming greats. It's bright, cheerful, and just generally easy to play if you've ever played a platformer before. It's also great to play with a friend during couch co-op, and you can even bring up to 3 friends along for the ride. And what a bloody lovely ride it is too. The infectious music and legends bound to make you and your friends' heads bob as you collect all of the tinks, which will become your life's mission before too long. It's not a terribly difficult game either, allowing your friends to revive without much hassle by popping their balloon. If that sounds a bit out there, you're probably going to have to try all the weird and wonderful worlds found in Rayman Legends for yourself. It's suitable for players of all ages, so prepare the kids to have their little minds blown. Easily the least popular game on this list, next MACHINA. A Housemarque game who rather disappointingly decided to abandon the style they made their name on and then decided to come back to it. It's a shame because Next MACHINA represents them at their very best, a frenetic bullet hell shooter that's sure to drive you and a friend insane in all the best ways. You may think you have the game matched on one difficulty, but if you take it up even the tiniest bit, expect pain. There's no grand story to Next MACHINA, it's just you, your friend, and waves upon waves upon waves of aliens to kill. Just like Dead Nation and Housemarque's other games, Next MACHINA pits players against each other for higher scores, which, when combined with the game's wicked pace and tendency to constantly amp up the pressure, will keep you coming back for more. As a nice bonus, Next MACHINA didn't sell well at all, so it's yours for pretty cheap these days. Nice for you, maybe not so nice for the devs, eh? All together now, don't starve together. Oh, that was terrible. Just like you don't want to be trawling dungeons on your own, you definitely don't want to be left on your lonesome on a desert island. Remember how nuts Tom Hanks went in Castaway? Don't Starve Together takes the widely successful survival formula of the base game and adds couch co-op into the mix, though for whatever reason you can only find it on consoles, which is a bit of a shame. Whether you're trying to invent something to keep yourself alive or desperately battling away what comes in the darkness, Don't Starve Together is a worthwhile bonding experience. Nothing brings people together quite like trauma after all. It certainly beats going on a camping trip and being thoroughly miserable the whole time, that's for sure. Unfortunately though, for whatever reason as mentioned, this game has no couch co-op on PC, so basically, starve alone on Steam is what they're saying. Something about a lie, it's Portal 2. Valve's Portal series isn't the biggest IP they have in their now pretty dusty collection, but it's one that's almost universally loved by everyone. Portal 2 is more of the same mix of inventive puzzles and irreverent humour, but this time with the introduction of some wonderfully realised co-op that will make you and a friend realise how dumb you are together. Using the infamous portal gun or Aperture Science handheld portal device if you want to be all businesslike, players must open up new areas by creating portals and then transporting themselves and objects through it. Despite it being relatively straightforward and not all that long, people still play Portal 2 to this day for a good reason. It's damn fun and easily replayable. The biggest puzzle of all with this one is why there still isn't a third game. We'd be glad to see GLaDOS again any day, so Valve, stop pissing around with your weird card games and throw some of that summer sale money at something that would just print more money. It's economics, Valve! Proving that shared pain is the best pain, CUPHEAD. CUPHEAD is a notoriously difficult bullet hell platformer that is somehow even harder with another player. If you think the game will let up on you after a giant carrot kills you by an inch of a pixel by bringing a friend along to help out, you are sorely mistaken. It's pain, but the good kind, the one that will keep inviting you back for another try. With one player playing as Cuphead and the other taking up the handle of Mugman, you must fight your way through relentless levels before going on to challenge the game's many unforgettable bosses before eventually going up against the devil himself. The slightest slip in concentration is punished in difficulty, so don't forget to leave your pride at the door before you start playing. Wow, what a lovely aesthetic you hold on to, your eyes falling out of your skull with frustration as you turn to your partner and realise that they are bashing their head in on the wall. Ah, Cuphead, what fun. And finally, Golden Axe. Does Golden Axe stand the test of time that well? Not really. It's more than rough around the edges these days, its visuals looking more and more disproportionate and just plain odd with each passing year. Still, even when VR consumes us all and we become part of a dystopian hive mind of VR chat addicts, Golden Axe will remain fun. Similarly to Streets of Rage, you and friends play as a ragtag trio of heroes as they seek to reclaim the titular Golden Axe. You really shouldn't be looking for anything much more than that from this series. A side-scrolling beat-em-up that was a pillar of many childhoods, it may not have the polish and high octane that the modern generation are used to, but make them give it a try and then may be surprised. If they aren't convinced, trade them in. The kids, not the game. You can just make another child, but apparently nobody can make another Golden Axe. So, there you have it, there's my list. Couch co-op games you should play. What do you reckon we should play? Let us know down in the comments down below, where they are, where the comments live, downwards, or Oh, I'm bad at this. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and the rest, all of the stuff, the lot. Cheers.